back in the 90s, they called it the ritual abuse scare, and satanic ritual abuse was happening, and people were coming forward with stories. And then what happened was this group called the False Memory Syndrome Foundation came out and tried to discredit survivors all over the world. And there were lawsuits, and there was all of this kind of thing, this false memory syndrome thing, which led people to believe ritual abuse isn't real and that survivors that talk about it were lying. And at least for me personally, it was shattering for me that I was starting to remember this trauma, and even my own husband didn't believe me. He wanted to, but he was so confused with these messages about the false memory syndrome. And so ever since that time, I've had it in my heart that, God, as God would heal me, that I wanted to bring education to this topic and help people to understand more about it. What is it? Is it for real? I am happy to report that the False Memory Syndrome Foundation is no longer viable. They are defunct. And that in the American Psychological Association's DSM-4 and 5, false memory syndrome is not a legitimate disorder mentioned in the actual books. So I myself am an ordained pastor. I'm a teacher. I'm a leader. I have a master's degree in Christian counseling. I am not a licensed psychologist or psychiatrist, but I am someone that has walked this journey for 35 years and have a lot to share with you. I do want to share a definition of ritual abuse. Now, sometimes I prefer to just call it ritual abuse because it's not, the term satanic ritual abuse, which has been around since the 80s and 90s, is a little bit misleading because it's not always satanic. Ritual abuse can happen in Christian churches and Jewish synagogues. It can happen in Catholic churches. It happens on military bases. It happens in locations all over. And the various deities that are worshipped in that ritual abuse are not just Satan. It can be Lucifer, it can be Diana, it can be Ishtar, it could be Baphomet, it could be any one of a pantheon of different gods and goddesses. So I prefer to use the term ritual abuse, and let me define it for you. Ritual abuse is the most heinous form of abuse known to man. Generally, it involves the sadistic abuse of children within a group setting for the promotion of the group's ideological agenda. It is the repeated and often prolonged perpetration of extreme physical, sexual, verbal, emotional, mental, and spiritual abuse involving occult activities and satanic or Luciferian ceremonial rituals. Unlike other types of abuse that might include a fit of rage or a compulsion like a rape, ritual abuse is intentional abuse designed specifically to shatter the soul. And that's one of the reasons why the healing journey can be so long as we recover. I will say this, though, what took me 30 years is taking people a fraction of that time today to heal. So the good news is there were forerunners like myself that paved the way, that found the answers. And for me, the answer was in Jesus Christ. I spent 19 years in therapy, in and out of therapy, and therapists helped me tremendously. But I didn't really start deeply healing until I learned about breaking programming, until I learned to bring Jesus or Yeshua into the healing process. Then I started rapidly healing. And my hope is to share all of those insights with you over time.